Let me tell you, this is the perfect fair weather. I was just talking to some of our audience here about that. And Ben, this is the type of weather that I don't have to have my church fan all along the state fair route. I'm happy about that.
Well, it certainly feels a whole lot comfortable outside, that's for sure. The dew point dropped about 15 to 20 degrees from this time yesterday. So, yep, it feels a lot more comfortable outside. We started the day with some cloud cover, but that's pushing off to the east. That's associated with that cold front that gave us all that severe weather yesterday. We are on the tail end of that. We are going to stay sunny not only today, but most of this upcoming weekend. We are looking at a mostly sunny sky and rain-free weather. So the final few days of the fair looking fantastic if you've held out this long. 74 degrees is our current air temperature. We're going to work our way into the mid to upper 70s today, so we'll probably reach 78 degrees for a high. Look at the dew point right now. Yesterday, by this time, it was well into the 70s. Dew point now into the much more comfortable 50s, and that will continue to drop as drier Canadian air continues to move through. Here's a live look outside. Bright blue. It is sunny outside, and that'll be the case through the rest of the day. And here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Temperatures again reaching the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Slightly warmer heading into Saturday before a little dose of autumn as we head into the second half of this Labor Day weekend. Turning cooler and breezy by Sunday, and that'll lead to an up-and-down week as far as temperatures go. Next week, we'll have a closer look at your forecast, including a sneak peek at what's to come for the first full week of school for a lot of kids. That's coming up in a few minutes, Cece.
Yeah, finally Friday, we're seeing those nicer temps. Thanks, Ben. Well, less than 3 hours ago, the city of Cottage Grove held a special meeting, unanimously voting to declare a state of emergency after last night's storms. By early this morning, the city administrator announced their resources were already exhausted.
Our Emergency Operations Center logged about 165 public safety and public works incidents. So as our crews began to triage those incidents and mitigate the hazards and restore services, we recognized that those impacted neighborhoods were experiencing very dangerous conditions.
Unfortunately, officers say nobody was hurt in the storms. This map shows the areas that will still need to see some cleanup, though. Michelle Beck takes us to one of those spots.
Unfortunately, a downed tree, especially a massive one, has become all too familiar of a sight here in Cottage Grove. Take a look at one of the worst examples we have seen here in the city this morning. This massive tree toppled over onto the roof, making it impossible to enter into this home. The city explains what happened overnight was heavy rainfall, hail, flooding, and high winds at gusts of 60 miles per hour. And so as far as impact goes, there's damage to approximately a dozen homes in the community, according to the city. Trees have also been knocked down, blocking roads and getting toppled on top of power lines. Roads were flooded as well, and numerous neighborhoods without power. By the way, as city staff are working with Xcel Energy, they say, but because of extensive damage, they also say it might take several days to fully restore power to those affected. Again, several days. Here's also an important memo from the city. If you are a homeowner and your home has been damaged by a tree, they say the city will not enter private property to remove that debris, and so the advice is to contact insurance. In Cottage Grove, Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.
Gosh, and you just hate to see that. And neighborhoods in Isanti are also facing a lot of damage after reports of a tornado touching down. One woman says things could have been much worse after a tree crashed into her family's dining room.
Thank God my dad was not home, and otherwise he would have been right there. So I'm very blessed that he wasn't home, and I mean, yeah, it's not good coming home to this, but at least he's safe.
Yeah, in St. Francis, a camper being hauled by a truck was picked up and overturned by high winds. Police say the driver wasn't injured, thankfully. Hey, if you're out cleaning up storm damage this weekend, please be extra careful. Just yesterday, a Yam House band member posted this on Instagram. He says he was helping his parents clean up from Monday night's storm when a portion of a tree fell on top of him. He said he thought his life was over, but his parents managed to lift that tree to get him out. He broke 5 ribs and his collarbone and punctured a lung. He's now out of the hospital and recovering at home. The band did put a call out to the Minnesota Wild, though, on Instagram saying he could use a new shirt. Hopefully he can get that. Well, if you've got travel plans for this Labor Day weekend, today is expected to be the busiest day at airports across the country. The good news, travel data shows MSP has the second most on-time departures during the busy weekend, with 91% of all flights leaving on time. If you're hitting the road instead, the price at the pump is going down again. In Minnesota, the average is $3.17 a gallon, slightly higher here in the metro. The entire state is seeing better prices than the same time a year ago when we were paying $3.64. I'm sure you remember that. If you're leaving today, the worst time will be that 2 to 6 p.m. time frame. That's because travelers are mixing with the lunch crowd and people getting off work, so there will be heavy traffic then. Tomorrow, a lot of travelers have plans to hit the road early. They're excited to get out of town. To avoid running into them, though, my advice, sleep in, leave after that noon hour. When you come back Sunday, try not to make that trip between 2 and 8 p.m. Maybe even extend your trip to Monday and take a sunrise drive back home. Roads will be congested between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. You can also save on some Uber rides this weekend. The rideshare company partnered with Mothers Against Drunk Driving and Minneapolis City Council member Michael Rainville to offer a deal to make sure people get home safe. From now through Monday, you can get 2 rides for 25% off. You just have to enter the code RIDESAFE2024 in the promotion section of that app.